We're back, and today this time we're going to be bringing you Job 3, 4, and 5, continuing on day 8. This will actually conclude day 8 as well. All right, John.
All right. Job 3. Job's first speech. At last Job spoke, and he cursed the day of his birth, he said. Or he said, Let the day of my birth be erased, and the night I was conceived. Let that day be turned into darkness. Let it be lost even to God on high, and let no light shine on it. Let the darkness and utter gloom claim that day for its own. Let a black cloud overshadow it, and let the darkness terrify it. Let that night be blotted off the calendar, never again to be counted among the days of the year, never again to appear among the months. Let that night be childless, let it have no joy. Let those who are experts at cursing, whose cursing could rouse Leviathan, curse that day. Let its morning stars remain dark, let it hope for light, but in vain. May it never see the morning light. Curse that day for failing to shut my mother's womb, for letting me be born to see all this trouble. Why wasn't I born dead? Why didn't I die as I came from the womb? Why was I laid on my mother's lap? Why did she nurse me at her breasts? Had I died at birth, I would now be at peace. I would be asleep and at rest. I would rest with the world's kings and prime ministers whose great buildings now lie in ruins. I would rest with princes rich in gold, whose palaces were filled with silver. Why wasn't I buried like a stillborn child, like a baby who never lives to see the light? For in death the wicked cause no trouble, and the weary are at rest. Even captives are at ease in death, with no guards to curse them. Rich and poor are both there, and the slave is free from his master. Why give light to those in misery, and life to those who are bitter? They long for death, and it won't come. They search for death more eagerly than for hidden treasure. They're filled with joy when they finally die, and rejoice when they find the grave. Why is life given to those with no future? Those God has surrounded with difficulties. I cannot eat for sighing. My groans pour out like water. What I always feared has happened to me. What I dreaded has come true. I have no peace, no quietness. I have no rest. Only troubles come.
Then Eliphaz, the Temanite, replied to Job, "Will you be patient and let me say a word? For who could keep from speaking out? In the past you have encouraged many people. You have strengthened those who were weak. Your words have supported those who were falling. You encouraged those with shaky knees. But now, when trouble strikes, you lose heart. You are terrified when it touches you. Doesn't your reverence for God give you confidence? Doesn't your life of integrity give you hope? Stop and think. Do the innocent die? When have the upright been destroyed? My experience shows that those who plant trouble and cultivate evil will harvest the same. A breath from God destroys them. They vanish in a blast of his anger. The lion roars, and the wildcat snarls, but the teeth of strong lions will be broken. The fierce lion will starve for lack of prey, and the cubs of the lioness will be scattered. This truth was given to me in secret, as though whispered in my ear. It came to me in a disturbing vision at night, when people are in deep sleep. Fear gripped me, and my bones trembled. A spirit swept past my face, and my hair stood on end. The spirit stopped, but I couldn't see its shape. There was a form before my eyes. In the silence I heard a voice say, "Can a mortal be innocent before God? Can anyone be pure before the Creator? If God, if God, if God does not trust his own angels and has charged his messengers with foolishness, how many less will he trust people made of clay? They are made of dust, crushed as easily as a moth. They are alive in the morning, but dead by evening, gone forever without a trace. Their tent cords are pulled, and the tent collapses, and they die in ignorance."
Job 5. Eliphaz's response continues. Cry for help, but will anyone answer you? Which of the angels will help you? Surely resentment destroys the fool, and jealousy kills the simple. I've seen that fools may be successful for a moment, but then comes sudden disaster. Their children are abandoned far from help. They are crushed in court with no one to defend them. The hungry devour their harvest, even when it is guarded by brambles. The thirsty pant after their wealth, but evil does not spring from the soil, and trouble does not sprout from the earth. People are born for trouble as readily as sparks fly up from a fire. If I were you, I would go to God and present my case to him. He does great things too marvelous to understand. He performs countless miracles.
He gives rain for the earth and water for the fields. He gives prosperity to the poor and protects those who suffer. He frustrates the plans of schemers so that the work of their hands will not succeed. He traps the wise in their own cleverness, so their cunning schemes are thwarted, and they find it is dark in the daytime, and they grope at noon as if it were night. He rescues the poor from the cutting words of the strong, and rescues them from the clutches of the powerful. And so at last the poor have hope, and the snapping jaws of the wicked are shut. But consider the joy of those corrected by God. Do not despise the discipline of the Almighty when you sin. For though he wounds, he also bandages. He strikes, but his hands also heal. From 6 disasters he will rescue you. Even in the 7th he will keep you from evil. He will save you from death in time of famine, from the power of the sword in time of war. You will be safe from slander, and have no fear when destruction comes. You will laugh at destruction and famine, and wild animals will not terrify you. You will be at peace with the stones in the field, and its wild animals will be at peace with you. You will know that your home is safe when you survey your possessions. Nothing will be missing. You will have many children. Your descendants will be as plentiful as grass. You will go to the grave at a ripe old age, like a sheaf of grain harvested at the proper time. We have studied life and found this to be true. Listen to my counsel and apply it to yourself.
All right. So that was Job 3, 4, and 5. And it's pretty intense. And it just kind of continues off of what we talked in the last video about Job.
Have faith.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't despair.
I mean, that one's pretty much about looking through the bad. And, I mean, we said it in the last video. I mean, God doesn't put you through a tough time without a reason. You know, I mean, just having faith throughout every bad time, every bad thing that happens. I mean, that's what it takes to be a real Christian and a really good person, and be able to be there for your friends and your family. You know, I mean, if you can't make it through tough times in your own life, you know, you can't expect to be there for others. So, I mean, God, everything you go through, I mean, it's what he has planned for you. You know, anything bad. You know, whether you lose someone you love, or relationship doesn't work out, you lose your job, a car, whatever it is, you know, I mean, you got to have faith that he's going to bring you through it, that he will, you know, and everything that he puts you through is a lesson. So, yeah. It was a pretty long reading, so I want to make our little discussion on that one short. But please continue to support us and help us by liking and following us on our Facebook page, subscribing to YouTube. Also, please share our videos to help us spread the word of God and help us reach as many people as we can. And we really appreciate your help, and just continue to support us. All right, you guys have a great day.